Hi, I'm Dan, and this is SlayerScape, a massive grid of tiles containing all of Old School RuneScape's quests and skills. Every tile must be unlocked by earning keys. The Slayer Masters of Gielinor each hold a small collection of these keys, and each time we complete an assignment, they may choose to grant us one. I'll be unlocking Old School RuneScape one tile at a time in this randomized adventure, and I welcome you to come along for the journey. We are back with our first task assigned to us by Spria, and we are going to kill some cave bugs. As we kill these bugs, I want to take a moment to address some common questions about the account's rules. So let's start at the very beginning. Fresh off Tutorial Island, we restricted ourselves to only attacking NPCs if they are the assigned Slayer task. We were free to train Slayer and use any of the combat skills right up to level 99. But all other skills started off locked, and we could not perform any actions using those skills. We could not start any quests. We could not spend any money in shops unless we had the allowance to do so. And we could not pick up ground items. That was our starting point, and from there, we began to slowly unlock our skills in quests using SlayerScape. Tiles gave us access to 10-level increments of skills and unlocked our ability to complete quests. We also uncovered allowance tiles, which let us spend a random amount of coins. To perform skills and complete quests, we typically need items, like a pickaxe for mining or the various raw meats for druidic ritual. When sourcing items for skilling in quests, we will always prioritize getting the item from Slayer by using our other unlocked skills or by spending our allowance. If those fail and an item we need to complete a quest or perform a skill would otherwise be inaccessible, we'll make an exception and rely on ground items or killing an NPC off task to obtain the item any way we can. And for some other noteworthy rules, we can always kill NPCs if it's required for a quest. We can do random events to our heart's content, but may only use XP lamps on skills below their maximum unlocked level. The same goes for XP lamps from quests and diaries. Skills are treated as if they are at their maximum unlocked level, even if we happen to level past them. As such, we allow ourselves to continue skilling and gaining XP beyond our maximum unlocked level, provided it's an action we can do at that level. Hopefully this helped clear up the most common questions regarding the rule set. And now, back to SlayerScape. Another day, another cave bug task. Let's go roll for a key. This is our first ever Spria task. That's pretty exciting. And she gives us a key. Thank you, Spria. Next task is 16 bears. Oh, like bears. Oh my god, okay, that's the next druidic ritual meat. That's another rag and bone man bone. Nice, we love bears. Our first bear kill. Look at all these drops, because we have at least one unique quest reward to pick up. We've got regular bones, and we've got the raw bear meat for the quest. Fantastic. All right, well, let's knock out the rest of these 15 bears and get back to business. 33 strength. Okay, bear task complete. Oh, and an ensouled head on the last kill. I have no idea why I'm keeping all this bear fur. I think it's maybe used for one quest ever. Let's get that task logged in SlayerScape. Spria, have you got another key for me? Yes. Now, I mentioned this before, but now that we're a little bit further in, hopefully it's become clear with Turiel that originally my first, I think, 4 or 5 tasks in a row, he gave me a key every time. The chance of one of these Slayer NPCs dropping a key it diminishes with how many total keys we found. So the more of their total keys we have found, the less likely they are to give us a key. So currently, Turiel is very difficult to get a key from. Spria, on the other hand, here is sitting at 2 out of 30 keys, so she is far more likely to give us a key right now every time we complete a Slayer assignment. Unlocking Spria is gonna start netting us keys a lot quicker. But for now, I've got my sights set on finishing Druidic Ritual. It won't actually unlock a tile, and it's sort of meaningless until I find the 1 to 10 Herblord tile though. So, I actually don't really have to go out of my way to complete this quest right now. I think other low-level skills like 1 to 10 Herblore are hiding right here out of reach. We've got this big dark shadowy area so close to the start of the board here that we still haven't uncovered. And to do so, we either need to finish Rag and Bone Man, or we're gonna have to get into rune crafting. Finishing Rag and Bone Man is a real possibility. We'll need a bat task, a frog task, and a unicorn task to complete it. There's one other bone that I don't think we can get on task, which is a ram skull, and that means we just need to kill one of the level 5 rams or whatever. Okay, we're not necessarily going to complete Druidic Ritual right now, but I don't want to accidentally cook any of my raw meat necessary for the task. So what we are going to do, let's get them all dipped in the Cauldron of Thunder, get them enchanted, and just complete this step of the quest at least. And then I think we can avoid turning in the quest until we actually have the Herblore tile. Yep, okay, we're able to turn in those 4 meats right now, and now at any point we can walk over to the Druid Circle, north of Taverley, talk to Cake Mix, and turn in this quest. For now, we will carry on with some Slayer. 30 birds. It's a good opportunity to do some range training. All right, that's a bird task complete. Got our range up to 7, almost all the way to 8. Let's get our bird task logged here. Spria, thank you very much. And another key. This is awesome. We're going to start to stockpile these keys again, and kind of like we did in the very beginning, we'll stockpile, 4 or 5 keys, maybe more, and then we'll focus on some non-combat, some questing and skilling. In the perfect world, I think that's how this game mode would work, as you would ebb and flow between the two. You'd get into your Slayer rhythm and grind through some tasks, and then you'd get back into some questing and skilling. I don't know, something like that. But for now, let's go pick up another task. Okay, Spria has asked us to kill 20 sour hogs. Now, these are going to be pretty difficult for me to kill in my current equipment, but they have some pretty killer drops that I'll throw up on screen now. Most important of the drop table, I think, for me is going to be the Adamant Scimitar. What an insane upgrade that is from an iron short sword. Getting that would be the lottery ticket, the holy grail of account progress for me right now. All right, here we are at the sour hogs. These are going to be hard for me to kill. I was able to kill one for the quest, though, so I know I can do it. It's, definitely going to be a matter of consistency. To make this hopefully a little more feasible, we actually now have access to rock skin, superhuman strength, and improved reflexes. I will be doing prayer flicking on all 3 of these prayers simultaneously, so I'll hopefully be able to keep them up the entire time I'm fighting. I'm sure many of you are already familiar with prayer flicking, but let me give a quick rundown for the uninitiated. Old School RuneScape servers work in 600 millisecond time steps, commonly referred to as game ticks. The game client locally is running much faster, something like 60 FPS for most players, closer to 16 millisecond time steps. This difference in speed allows you to send multiple actions from your client that arrive to the server, are held in some buffer, to be processed together during the next game tick. This is what allows you to quickly click 4 grimy herbs to have all of them cleaned in a single tick. Getting back to prayers, if you activate your prayers during one tick, then during the next tick, you send 2 actions, one to disable them and another to re-enable them. The order the server processes this results in the prayers remaining active for combat calculations, but inactive for the prayer drain. To put it simply, you get all the benefits of your prayers that tick without draining any prayer points. And by continuing to send a disable re-enable prayers action every tick, you're able to indefinitely keep your prayers active without losing any prayer points. This is probably a small oversight coded into the game more than 20 years ago, but we've all since accepted it as a higher intensity mechanic. One which I will occasionally use to my advantage, especially while I have no access to gear that reduces my drain rate and no access to prayer potions. Okay, now let's kill some piggies. Whew, oh my god. Ooh, okay, and there's our first kill. We are rewarded with big bones, 5 chaos runes. That is some of the best loot we've ever gotten from anything so far in this account. The other thing we'll make sure to do this time is whenever we need to eat, we should just hop over the barrier. I don't think they have any crazy health regen or anything, so we can hop over the barrier, safely eat back to full health, and then hop back in to continue fighting. So, yep, let's try our luck with another kill. Oh, smacked for a 6 on my way out the door, yikes. This other guy's kind of in the way too. That's a little annoying. Come on, buddy. Oh, he's blocking him in because they're 3 tiles. Ugh. Ha, we got a potato as loot. That's technically food to keep doing kills, although it's not the best food. Hey, level 26 Slayer. And that's the plan for how we're gonna kill these sour hogs. I'll keep you updated if we get any interesting drops. Otherwise, we're gonna slowly make our way through these 17 sour hogs. I might make a pit stop first to do some shrimp fishing or something. But other than that, yep, we eat some food, we flick our prayers, and we stab them in their big jubbly bellies. 34 strength. Okay, and that's our Sour Hogs task complete. The loot was so-so. I mean, honestly, the big bones are probably the best thing we got here. We didn't get lucky and get the adamant scimitar, but that's okay for now. Oh, gang, I boofed it. I totally just rolled my Spraya key there without actually getting the clip. Believe me, that's our 4th task with Spraya for the Sour Hogs, and yes, she did in fact give us a key. I've been hitting the lab, by which I mean looking stuff up on Wiki I should have already looked up in the past, and there is no such thing as a frog task or a unicorn task. So as soon as we get a bat task, we're going to get the bat bone for Rag and Bone Man on task, and then the other 3 bones we need, the ram, the frog, the unicorn, yeah, we're just going to go get those off task. Let's pick up another assignment, 17 Ice Fiends. But before we get to that, you know, I was thinking we got the bronze axe at one point, which was what we needed for a beginner clue. We just need the boots now, and we've got the allowance to spend, so I figured let's just go and buy ourselves a pair of boots. 6 coins. Yep, let's pick those up. And you know what? I'm thinking we spoil ourselves. Let's buy a red cape for 2 coins. That feels like we've earned it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do the thing with the cape per season or whatever. I just wanted something to cover my back. Let's get those 8 coins logged, and that's allowance we'll never see again. Goodbye, allowance. Okay, I just can't stay focused. No, we will do the Ice Fiends. We'll do the Ice Fiends, and then we'll do the clue. Maybe. 35 strength. 31 hit point. Did we just tick eat by leveling? Wow. Okay, the plan has changed back to finishing the clue, and definitely not because I just died at Ice Fiends. Okay, this should be our 3rd clue step, so pretty good chance of getting the beginner casket here. Yep, there it is. Our first clue casket on the account. Very exciting. It's a beginner clue though, so I'm not gonna milk it. Let's get this thing open here, and we get... Oh my god! A fire staff! Nice! That actually could be useful in the future. 21 defense. Okay, task complete. Spraya. I cannot land on a way to say this name consistently. It's just gonna be different every time, and we're all gonna have to deal with it. Spraya, can we have a key? Oh, not this time. Well, 4 in a row was quite nice, so thank you, Spraya. Let's go grab ourselves another task. 11 bears. I've just finished walking all the way around this 10 GB gate because I didn't want to waste 10 GP. Because I've decided we need every piece of allowance we have, plus maybe a little bit more. We're gonna make a little investment here. We've been running around poking things with Silverlight, kicking them with our soft little toesies, using this iron short sword recently. I think it's time we buy ourselves a real weapon. So for the Mithril Scimitar, we need 1,040 coins. And what we're gonna do is we are going to take one of our small shop allowance tiles. Oh, and I think the one we'll take for now will be, I think we'll do this one. Even though I do want to get down to this side of the board, we're just a bat task away from getting this tile revealed anyway. And that will also give this tile. So yeah, my thinking is taking this shop allowance tile to reveal one single tile is maybe less valuable than taking this one. I don't know. Maybe I'll live to regret this decision, but hey, I may live to regret this entire spending of shop allowance on a Mithril Scimitar, but you know what? We're starting to get more consistent with doing tasks. We're grinding through all of Turiel's task and now Sprya's task. I think it's time we give ourselves a real weapon. So, whew, no more. Okay, I'm committing. I'm totally committing. Okay, let's do it. Oh, okay. Well, we're all in now. The key has been spent. The tile is unlocked. It's time to claim. The moment we claim this, it's been a while since we've rolled for shop allowance. When we claim this, we will get an amount of gold. I believe it's a random roll from 100 to 1,000 for small shop allowance. I don't remember. I should really write those values on here. Let's see what we get. We're looking for a total value of 1,040 so we can purchase the Mithril Scimitar. 999 coins! Literally one less than the maximum! Oh, wow! Oh, 11 to 20 fire making, we don't care about that. And the Shield of Arav quest, that's kind of cool. 999! I can't believe I got one under max. That's so wild. I can't believe that just happened. Oh my goodness. Oh my days. Let's go. Let's freaking go. I've never felt better about this. Okay. Zeke, my man. Zeke's superior scimitars. Please, for 1,040 coins, sell us a superior mithril scimitar. Oh, I've never felt so good to spend money in this. This is going to be the biggest amount of shop allowance we've ever spent. Let's get that shop allowance spent in there. Ready for that? Oh, satisfying. And our coins, our shop allowance is barely lower than where it started. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh my God. So I am freaking out over 1K and a weapon that anybody else would have in their first half an hour of playing the game. But you know what? Let's go. Mithril Scimitar unlocked. Our Mithril Scimitar putting in work on these bears, and that's 27 Slayer. 22 Defense. Bear task complete. Let's get that task logged. Sprya. Giving us another Slayer key. We're up to 4. Okay. What you got for me, Sprya? 17 Sour Hogs. Man, if we get the Adamant Scimitar, I'm gonna feel a little bit silly, but hey, at least now we get to kill Sour Hogs with our cool Mithril Scimitar. We're doing a little fishing to stock up on shrimp for our Sour Hog task, and boy, are we starting to catch a lot of anchovies as we push our fishing level past its level 10 unlocked range. I'm thinking that rather than drop all these anchovies, well, these ones I have to drop because I don't have higher than level 10 fishing. This is a lie. Ignore that this says 17. But if we're gonna be catching these anyway, I think we've got keys to spare. We're at a point where we are key rich again, and eventually we're gonna need a higher fishing level than 10 to, move on with our life for quest reasons, for a food source. So I think what we'll do now is we'll actually grab this right now, 11 to 20 fishing. That way we don't have to drop these anchovies to the floor. Obviously we can't cook them because we only have the 1 to 10 cooking tile unlocked. But yeah, if we do this, and I almost claimed it immediately. Whew. Right. And we'll get this from 11 to 20. We'll claim it and we'll get the C1 tile. But now that we have fishing levels 11 to 20 unlocked, we no longer have to drop our anchovies. That also technically means we have access to much better fishing methods like fly fishing, which, because I can kill chickens for feathers, is a fairly sustainable way to fish. But of course, I can't cook the trout or the salmon yet. I don't have the unlocked cooking level for those things, regardless of whatever I've trained cooking to at this point. I gotta tell you, shrimps are just not cutting it right now. We can get better fish than shrimp right now, because with our current unlocked cooking level, we are allowed to cook mackerel. And with our newly acquired 11 to 20 fishing, we can fish mackerel. I don't think I've ever used a big fishing net in my life. Let's go find ourselves a big fishing net and try to get ourselves some mackerel, because mackerel heals for 6, which is, yeah, quite a bit better than the 3 we're able to heal with shrimp. Here we are in Catherby for the first time on the account, actually. I feel like I live in the free-to-play area and I just purchased members. But we're here to buy a big net for 20 coins. Well, okay, it's hopefully going to be a worthwhile investment. We'll buy the big fishing net for 20 coins. And yeah, we will do some big net fishing. Wow, all right. Account check just popped in to give us a lamp for 170 prayer experience. That'll get us to level 18 prayer. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. Big net fishing is kind of cheeks. You get a lot of junk in your inventory. Like on that last trip, I got just 5 pieces of raw mackerel in a full inventory, with the rest just being seaweed and boots and oysters and leather gloves. We might honestly just go back to shrimp because this is kind of obnoxious. And that's level 20 fishing. Let's get that claimed now and reveal a tile, because that's a little fun thing we can do while we're chipping away at some food. Okay. Oh, Herblore 11 to 20. All right, well, this was our starting tile, this Slayer icon, currently with a check mark in it. And we can see that the Herblore tile is sort of 1, 2, 3, 4 steps away from this center tile. Because this is the 11 to 20 Herblore tile, in the placement of the tiles, the 1 to 10 Herblore tile is guaranteed to be as close or nearer as the 11 to 20. So somewhere, I'm really thinking it's here. I mean, I think it's almost a guarantee at this point because of how much we've revealed in other directions. I suppose it could be here behind thieving and these quests as well. But yeah, whenever we find one of these 11 to 20 skills like Herblore here or Fletching here, it is guaranteed that the earlier unlocking levels are nearer to the center than that tile was. Okay, so we managed to get 23 cooked mackerel and 110 shrimp. Let's get back to those sour hogs and just see if we can finish this task. These mackerel are great so far. I'm 3 kills into this trip and I have this much food left. This is pretty awesome. Let's get this 9th kill in a trip. A 9-kill trip? Oh, yeah. Very satisfying. And a herb seed. Wow, that's pretty sick. Little pro strat when I want to reset. I take off my goggles and get one shot. That 9-kill trip was pretty epic, but I don't think we'll be able to do that without the mackerel. We are back to our 3 HP healing food items. We'll see how we can do, but we only need 7 more and then we're done with another sour hog task. Cool little milestone. I just noticed we passed the 1 day played mark. I feel like I'm moving at a glacial pace. I am still getting used to editing and recording B-roll and how to do all that, while also learning how to play my own crazy game mode. So one thing I know for certain though is that I'm having so much goddamn fun playing RuneScape this way, so hell yeah, let's keep slaying. 24 defense. Okay. Sour hog task complete. Let's get that one logged in the SlayerScape grid. Oh, no key this time. Spraya, I thought we were cool. Ah, it's okay, Spraya, we're still cool. What is your next task for me? 21 ghosts. That's a unique one. What can we kill for ghost task? So I was thinking there's like a really cool ghost task out there. And there absolutely is. The Isle of Souls has tormented souls on it. Forgotten souls? Forgotten souls. And they have an incredibly unique drop table. I'll chuck it up on screen here. There's lots of goodies on here, and they have access to herbs. Probably the most interesting thing for us on the table are the battle staves for all 4 of the elements. While we are in Edgeville, somewhere we haven't really been that often on this account. We've passed near it to get to the Stronghold of Security, but I haven't actually been here in a while. We'll take this portal to Soul Wars in a moment. But while we're in Edgeville, I think it's time we talk about the wilderness. Here in the Edgeville jail is a rather unique Slayer Master, Cristelia. Crystalia offers Slayer tasks that must be completed in the wilderness. She also maintains her own unique streak of successfully completed Slayer tasks in a row. Crystalia, unlike the other Slayer Masters, can assign you tasks that are far above your combat level. She doesn't discriminate with what combat level you are and will offer you lava dragons when you are a fresh level 3 account. So it's very likely that if we take your Crystalia task, she gives us something we can't possibly kill, but there's no reason not to pick up a task and see what she's got for us. That is, of course, after we finish our Forgotten Souls task. Something else we can do in the wilderness, though, that I think we'll actually go try right now is we can use this Soul Wars portal from Edgeville to walk through it one way into Soul Wars, and then exit it, but rather than exiting into Edgeville, exit into Ferox Enclave. And the Enclave has a lot to offer, including something every Iron Man is familiar with, which are these stat resetting pools of refreshment. For Iron Men, building a stat refreshing pool in their POH is a long-term goal, and for us, I don't know when it will ever happen, but anytime we want to come to Ferox Enclave, if we have a convenient teleport here or we're in Edgeville, we can come here to reset our HP, prayer, and run energy. Also in the wilderness, just a short jaunt from Ferox Enclave, is a famous Chaos Altar. This is a special prayer altar unlike any other in the game. You're able to use your bones on this altar, and they will reward you with 3.5 times the amount of normal experience. As well, every bone you use on it has a 50% chance to not be consumed. And for the first time ever on our account, we sort of have bones that are maybe worth using on the Chaos Altar. We've got big bones. It's not the most rewarding bone, and we only have 37 of them to use. We do also risk dying in the wilderness and losing all of them, but I think it's worth it to bank our items here, grab our big bones, and try our luck at a run over to the Chaos Altar to maximize the amount of XP we get off these big bones. Let's try it. If we see even a single player in here, we're just going to try to immediately hop before they can get in combat with us. Okay, that was a pretty successful little run there. Wow, we managed to go all the way from prayer level 18 to 24 in a single inventory of big bones. That was juicy. How effective that is at raising your prayer level with almost no requirements as an Iron Man is actually one of the reasons I was against ground items being allowed on this account. If you allow ground items on an account, one of the first things you could do, theoretically, is run into the wilderness, go to the boneyard where there is a big bone spawn, load up on big bones, run over to the altar, and consume them all to quickly raise prayer. And in fact, you could get your prayer level all the way to 43 and unlock Protect from Mage, Range, and Melee from a brand new, fresh level 3 account, risking absolutely nothing before you've done any Slayer, before you had rolled any tiles or anything like that. And so it was one of the little reasons I thought maybe there's some cheese that you can do with ground items that I didn't quite feel comfortable with on the account. In fact, there are a ton of useful item spawns in the wilderness that on a restricted account would be pretty valuable to get in the early game. Like there's a Staff of Earth, a steel plate body and legs, a steel short sword, an iron full helm, a sapphire, and various high-level runes. Playing with item spawns would be totally valid. I expect others who take on this challenge will allow item spawns, but I hope I've at least made a case for the rule. All the armor spawns I listed, for example, would be like a best in slot for me right now. And I'd rather achieve those items through Slayer drops or my skilling unlocks, or by using up some of the scarce allowance we've acquired. But yeah, that's our first taste of wilderness content. As you can see, the wilderness is a pretty rewarding place to spend time, and we will be back here for Crystalia later to try our hand at a Crystalia task or two. Crystalia task will open up some NPCs with really valuable loot tables that we wouldn't otherwise have access to, so there's going to be plenty of reasons for us to be back in the wilderness later. For now, let's mosey on over to the Soul Wars Isle and finish this ghost task. Oh my god, why didn't I bring any food? Oh, what am I doing? Oh, I could have brought an inventory full of shrimp. Oh, well, I hope we can one and done this. I guess we'll be prayer flicking to try to make this happen. That's level 28 Slayer. Oh, and a Miles event. Hello, Miles. Those are shears. And we got 1 kebab. Hey, food! Okay. Thanks, Miles. 36 strength. I think kebabs have like a 1 in 20 chance of like fully healing you. Let's see what heal we get from this. We're at 9 health. Ooh, a 10 HP kebab. Not bad. What's up? We just got a black robe, and that is, I think, the first thing we've ever equipped in the chest slot. That's kind of cool. 25 defense. 26 defense. Pretty good task. These things have low defense and high hit points, so that was actually a lot of just raw XP we were able to put into our combat stats. They dropped a good amount of herbs. I think these are our first law runes, some coins. We didn't get lucky and get one of the battle staves, but yeah, that was pretty great. We need to log our ghost task in SlayerScape. Hey, Spry, you've given us a key. Thank you. We've got 4 keys right now. We're gonna go pick up our next task, and then we'll see about maybe doing something with one of our keys. We're back from the Isle of Souls. Let's head over to Krystalia and try our luck with our very first wilderness task. I have no idea if we're actually going to complete it right now. We might just immediately bail if it's something that's like a pain in the ass, but I don't know. Let's see what she's got in store for us, and maybe it somehow is something we can actually do right now that would give us something really cool and unique from the wilderness. Okay, our first task from Krystalia is 118 fire giants. I think there is absolutely no way in hell I can do this. If we had access to water spells, I think fire giants actually have a water weakness now, which would make that so free. I think we'd be dealing a lot of damage. It would actually be a really, really nice task, but nope, there's no way we're doing that. So we're gonna head back to Spria and get ourselves a vanilla task. Got Spria for a safer task. And oh, you can't reset at Spria? You specifically have to go to Turiel? Man, what a scam that we have to reset at Turiel. But that's what we're gonna do. Haven't done a Turiel task in a while. I'm glad we learned that. This is sort of a motivator to not do Krystalia until we're more level appropriate, until we've got access to higher level range and magic to actually do her task. Because we don't really want to be doing Turiel tasks. We're much less likely to get keys from Turiel. But yeah, let's reset that 118 fire giants. Replace your task. It won't affect your standard task streak of 43. Yes, please. 30 monkeys. Well, that's definitely something we can do. Let's go bop some monkeys. So this is pretty weird. We're in Ardoin for the first time on the account. And my minigame teleport was on cooldown, and I really wanted to do some Slayer. And I was like, well, how else can I do a monkey task? Well, we can come and assault the monkeys that are held captive in the Ardoin Zoo with our bronze knives. Now, obviously, we won't be able to grab our knives back because, you know, they'll be in the monkey cage. But I think we have enough to finish this task, and we can always make more. This isn't too precious of a resource or anything like that. So we're going to kill monkeys like this. Oh, I feel kind of bad hitting them while they're just in the cage like that. Oh well. Well, in the end, we didn't have enough bronze knives to finish this task after all. We are about to run out of knives with 4 monkeys left, and this one at half health. And 5 minutes left on our minigame teleport before we can get to Karumja for free. So, oh well. Except that it isn't oh well. I feel terrible about killing monkeys in captivity. You know, at least ones in the wild have a fighting chance. So in honor of the late Dr. Jane Goodall, we killed 26 of those monkeys in captivity on task. And so we are donating $26 US to the Jane Goodall Institute. Now, these monkeys are in the wild, though, so they have a fighting chance. They can fight back. If they lose, that's a skill issue. That's on them. One way or another, that's task complete. Let's get it logged in SlayerScape. I can't forget that was a Turiel task, right? It's going to be a weird thing I'm going to have to remember going forward. Oh, Turiel decided not to give us a key. That's okay. Before we head back to Spry to grab another task, let's take a look at the board and think, what do we want to do next? while we're sort of rich in keys right now, we've got 4 keys to work with. We could go do Ernest the Chicken because it reveals 3 tiles. It's a requirement for animal magnetism, which we're absolutely going to want. Like, look, we just wasted 180 bronze knives like nothing, right? So getting our animal magnetism backpack is going to be important. I think this is a guaranteed a quest we have to do eventually. And because we're not too excited about doing Jungle Potion or unlocking Hunter right now to reveal either of these 2 side tiles, and the only thing that's going to reveal the south tile for us right now is completing Ernest the Chicken itself. You know what? Yeah, let's mix it up a little bit. Let's go do Ernest the Chicken, knock out a quest. Let's unlock this. As a bonus, we're heading back to Draenor anyway to pick up a task from Spraya, so yeah, look, everything works out. 16 Ice Fiends. Okay, a little bit annoying, a little bit out of the way, but whatever. We'll go get to that task after we do Ernest the Chicken. Let's go. There's really nothing notable about this quest, so let's just bingo, bango, bongo. And that's quest complete. Let's hop back into SlayerScape and claim that to reveal 3 new tiles. What do we got? 11 to 20 smithing. Cool. Okay. We like that. Priest in Peril. I'm so spooned. Oh my god, I'm spooned on finding the Slayer Masters. Wow, you know, there was a real chance that like I'd get stuck with Turiel and have to just grind Turiel for combat XP to be strong enough to take on, you know, Vinaka and Krystilia tasks and get into a really weird situation with keys. Finding Spraya and Miskana was kind of the issue in continuing to have access to keys. But yeah, if we finish Priest in Peril, we get access to yet another Slayer Master with a pool of 40 keys and a whole new suite of tasks with potential new upgrades and items and access to things, and we get the Slayer Tower, we get all of Mauritania. That's really exciting. Yeah, let's see if we just want to complete this quest right now. I'm tempted to. Okay, I wanted to double check that we did in fact have 50 pure essence as drops from Minotaurs, and we do. We can't forget to actually unlock the quest first. And we are now allowed to start Priest in Peril. That's really sick. You know, we haven't actually looked at our quest, our unlock quest tab in a while here. So Druidic Ritual, we're sitting on the last step. Priest in Peril, we're going to go do right now. Rag and Bone Man, we're waiting for that bat task. We're making good progress on quests. I want to mix it up a little bit, move back and forth between some Slayer, some questing, some skilling. Let's see how far we can take questing, see what these 2 tiles are, and most importantly, get access to Mauritania and the future of Slayer with Miskana. We have a good chance of being able to do Miskana tasks, and Miskana tasks actually reward you Slayer points. We haven't talked much about Slayer points because I haven't been getting any. We have 30 that we got just for completing Portion of Interest, but doing tasks for Turiel and Spraya, whatever her name is, doesn't actually net you any Slayer points. Eventually, we will want Slayer points for unlocking lots of different tasks, unlocking important Slayer items, and just, you know, we're a Slayer-based account. This is SlayerScape. We're trying to progress Slayer. We need to get Slayer points eventually. We're sitting at 44 tasks completed. And the way Slayer points work is that at certain intervals, you get bonus amounts of Slayer points. So, for example, every 10 tasks, you get 5 times the number of points. But every 50 tasks, you get 15 times the number of points. Now, obviously, for Turiel and Spraya, 15 times 0 is still 0. But Miskana actually awards points. He awards 6 points per task, meaning he'll give us 90 points for completing our 50th task with him. Getting him before we got to 50 is really cool, because we'll be able to take task 50 with Miskana and actually get ourselves some Slayer points to start working towards those Slayer unlocks later in the game. Some words about this quest. The King of Varrock sends us to check in on a priest, supposedly one that is in peril. And so we head off on a very, 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 very long walk. I'm going the wrong way. Please ignore this. To get to the far off temple of Paterdamus. We reach the temple and knock on the door, and a voice from inside asks us to head down to the basement of the temple and dispatch of the monster that's there. We enter the mausoleum, and we face off against the Temple Guardian. We make our way back to Varrock. We tell the king of our heroic job, dispatching of that deadly dog, and he tells us that the NPC named Temple Guardian is in fact the guardian of the temple, and we've been tricked into actually doing a bad thing. Back to the temple we go to investigate further. We return to Patterdama's temple yet again, but this time we're not taking any shit. We don't even knock on the door, we just walk right the fuck in and kill the first guy we see. Oh, and we get a defense level doing it. We make our way up to the top of the temple and we find Drezel, the priest we've been looking for all along. He's been held captive by the Zamorakians downstairs by them putting a vampire in a coffin in front of him. And so he can't leave the cell he's in. Something like that. He's also needs a key to the door, but there's this whole thing with the vampire, I guess. We head back down to the mausoleum where we find a bunch of fancy monuments, each of them holding a golden item, but one of them is not holding a golden item. It's holding a plain old metallic key. One of these. Is it the last one I check? Come on. Come on, no way. Okay, second to last one. So we do a little Indiana Jones swaparoo to grab the real key for the cell that Drezel is in upstairs. Also, while we're down here, we take our bucket and grab some water from the river Salve that runs beneath the temple. Back upstairs in the temple, we're now able to free Drezel from his prison cell, and we also have him bless this bucket of murky water with his priestly powers, which we can pour all over this vampire coffin thing. And now Drezel is free to leave. We did it, Drezel. You're safe. Go now. The completely inanimate vampire won't hurt you. Back down in the mausoleum, we find Drezel pacing back and forth, telling us that the Zamorakians have placed some sort of evil spell on the barrier between the vampire world and the human world. One thing we know that can absorb magical power, though, is rune essence. So we give him some pure essence. We need 50 in total. And because you can't carry 50 items at the same time in this video game, we have to walk all the fucking way back to Varrock. And with that, it's quest complete. Whoa, 1406 prayer XP, nice. Access to Mauritania, absolutely epic, giga tier, just unstoppably sick. We also got the Wolfbane Dagger. You know, if I hadn't bought the Myth Scimitar earlier, this would probably be our best in slot. It does have a +5 prayers bonus, that's pretty nice. And yeah, that's oh, I don't want to talk to him. He might accidentally start a quest with me. Don't do that. Hey, we got level 25 prayer. Let's take our first steps into Mauritania. Never mind. Stop, you can't go through there. Speak to me first. God, what are we doing? Now let's take our first steps into Mauritania. Walking across this bridge, we are crossing the river Salve, the Salve imbued with magic that stops the vampires from taking the level, I want to say 60 agility shortcuts, 65, yeah. No vampires have level 65 agility. Oh, Mauritania. When you're playing a Slayer-based account, there's something about Mauritania. The Slayer Tower over here. Dr. Jekyll asking us for... Oh, hang on. Dr. Jekyll. Oh, we don't have any clean herbs. I was thinking, is there something we should give him right now? No, sorry. Wait, give me a strength potion. I fucked up, jeez. Mauritania. Oh. What an iconic area for a Slayer-based account, and I guess iconic area for a, you know, somebody trying to make a YouTube series. I don't know, maybe someone should make a YouTube series in here. We've still got a task on the go for Spraya, and I don't think we'll bother to come take our first Mescana task until we are all the way up to our 50th task for the streak. So once we complete our 49th, we'll come by Mescana and we'll try our hand at a Slayer task from him to see if we can net ourselves a nice chunk of Slayer points. Oh, and we need to claim our tile still. All right, we get to reveal 2 more tiles after claiming Priest in Peril. A free tile, oh boy. Oh, I also didn't even clock this earlier that we revealed our first achievement diary. Yes, there are achievement diary tiles. That is not something I've talked about much. I also forgot to build an achievement diary unlocking widget thing. So you'll see that pop in a future video when I decide to spend more time on the SlayerScape application itself. So there's a free tile there. That's, we could burn a key and unlock 2 tiles now. We're getting a little far south. We're so far from the center, you know, we're possibly going to be running into level 50s and 60s skill tasks down here. So I'm not too interested in spending this key right now, even though that's a completely free tile. The other option here is Biohazard. Obviously, we need to find Plague City. Biohazard should follow the same rules as skills, being closer to the center than their higher level skills. Likewise, we expect that Biohazard being here means that Plague City is somewhere closer in this vicinity. But yeah, that's Priest in Peril and Mauritania unlocked. Awesome. I guess for now, we will head back to the mainland, finish our Spraya Ice Fiends task, and honestly, we should just keep crushing Slayer. Well, let's crush through those tasks and get to that 50th task, because I want to see what Muskan is going to offer us. Level 29 Slayer. Okay, Ice Fiends complete. Let's get that logged in the SlayerScape grid. Spraya. No key. Next task. 17 wolves. 28 defense. Task 46 complete. See if we can get ourselves a key from Spraya. Nope, not this time. Oh, 17 dogs. This is always such a sad task. Jagex, can you just remove this one from the game? I think our best bet is to run down to the desert, pay for a shanty pass with a little bit of our allowance, and kill some jackals. Being that this is our first time into the desert, we're going to have to make a little investment here in some desert goodies. So let's go ahead and buy ourselves a desert shirt for 40 coins. Desert robe bottom for another 40 coins. The boots for 20 coins. Well, that's 100 spent right there. I didn't actually even get enough out of the bank, but let's quickly log that in SlayerScape before we forget. 100 coins on desert equipment. We're also going to bring a knife with us so that if we need to, we can cut a cactus for extra water to fill into our water skins there. But yep, we'll need a shanty pass for 5 coins. And what's the water skin economy looking like? See, we can actually buy empty ones for 15 and then fill them by cutting them at cacti. So let's actually, we're going to try that. So we've just spent another 35 coins. And we're all done with desert preparation. Let's go kill some jackals. Doing this cactus thing is a is giving us woodcutting experience. You actually, this is woodcutting. Uh-oh. Okay, well, apparently we're not allowed to cut cacti until we get the 1 to 10 woodcutting tile. So I don't know. We might just deal with desert heat. We'll see how it goes. 29 defense. We ended up having to leave the desert because we were almost out of health and dying to desert heat without any more water skins available. I think what we're going to do right now is we're going to go ahead and buy 10 shanty passes and the whole 50 coins get logged in the allowance. That way we don't need to show us spending allowance every time we go in and out of the desert, at least for the next 10 entries. 30 defense. Oh, okay. Task 47 complete. Oh my god, we're dying to thirst. Let's get the hell out of the desert. Out of the desert and back in safety. Let's see if that very difficult, hot in the desert, dogs task at least got us a key. It did. Okay, well, there is justice in the world. Back for another task, our 48th. 25 goblins. Well, now, see, that's easy. That's much better than dogs. Okay, that's a goblin task complete. We managed to pick ourselves up a beginner clue scroll. I think we'll just carry it around while we're doing Slayer, and if we happen to be near any of the steps, we'll get them done. Earn us a key. It did. Excellent. We're up to 4 keys again. I love being at 4 keys. There's something about having 4 keys. I just feel like I'm free to make mistakes or something. It's really, yeah, it's quite liberating. Our 49th task. This will be our last Spraya task before we head over to Mascana, and it's our old pal, the Scorpions. That is, you know what? That's a poetic task to end our low-level Slayer Masters task streak on. 28 Scorpions. Okay. Feels like just yesterday we were struggling to flinch down these Scorpions, and now We're heading into them, Myth Scimitar in hand. We're not exactly, look, we're not a juggernaut out here. We're not like giga strong yet. One day we will be, but right now, yeah, we're doing Scorpion tasks. So, you know, we're a couple, I don't know, days, weeks, months, years away from that. Level 37 strength, 300 total. Level 30 Slayer. We can now kill Pyre Fiends. That's a pretty cool task. They actually have a superior variant as well, I think, right? Once we get bigger and badder unlocked, so super cool. Okay, Scorpion task is complete. And that was task 49. Let's pop into SlayerScape, get it logged. No key. Ah, would have been cool to go to 5. I don't know if I've ever held 5 keys at the same time before. But nevertheless, we are heading over to Mauritania. We're making the long trek, the long voyage out there, so we can pick up our first Mezcana task. Here we are back in Mauritania to pick up our first ever Mezcana task for our 50 Slayer assignment streak. Okay, we could get really screwed over here. There's some things Mezcana could assign that could be really difficult and maybe even impossible to kill. I'm not sure, but let's see what we get. 40 lizards. Okay, lizards have a very low level option that we can do. It is a desert task, but look, we're already in our desert regalia, so we should be fine. Perhaps the annoying part is that we are going to have to spend allowance on this task to buy the coolers to douse the lizards and finish the kill or whatever you have to do with them. There's been a question about whether we should let Slayer items purchased from a Slayer master not count towards allowance. I'm not going to do that for now. I'm going to stick with allowance being as strict as I've had it so far until I think it's really causing a problem. I'm going to let you all in on a little secret with allowance. I know something that you all don't, and that's these are small allowance tiles we've seen so far, the ones we've picked up, and these roll for 100 to 1000 GP. The other allowance tiles that are hidden somewhere in the fog of war of this board scale up from there, and they will have thousands to 10,000s to eventually millions of GP behind them. So while it looks like we're running around dirt poor, this is really more of an early game restriction and kind of adds to the theory crafting and solving of the puzzle of how you most optimally do your board. I don't want to start making exceptions for allowance and reworking the mechanic from its, roots until I think it's actually broken, because I actually thought allowance was going to be broken in the other direction. I actually thought I would have way too much gold to spend and it would be easy. Like, for example, if I open this free tile and I get really lucky and there's some very, very useful allowance tile here that gives me like 50k, well, then I'd suddenly be able to have runes and do early magic and life would be so easy. And yeah, I thought that was going to happen. So I'm actually pretty pleased with money feeling really scarce right now. To that end, let's go spend, I don't know, 50 coins or whatever it is on some ice coolers to kill some lizards. So we'll trade Mezcana and we will purchase 50 ice coolers, 50 of our allowance. Oh, it is dwindling. It is a little sketchy right now. It is sketchy, but this is the friction I was hoping allowance would create. So with our coolers in hand and our desert gear on, I've got some walking to do and we are going to kill these lizards. Level 38 strength. Okay, that's our lizard task complete. 50 Slayer tasks, awarding us 90 points. Let's get out of the desert heat and get that task logged in SlayerScape, our first ever Mezcana task. Whew, boy, all right. Oh, wasn't I just saying it would be cool to get to 5 keys? Check this shit out. There we go. Mezcana has given us a Slayer key. That's 5 keys. Excuse me for a moment. I think I am still dying to desert heat. Let me walk further out of the desert. Okay, wow, our first Mezcana task. Now, I don't think we're going to start grinding Mezcana. I think we'll maybe do every 10th task there for the points. And in the meanwhile, we'll continue finishing up tutorials task and making our way through Spria's set of keys to collect. That does it for this episode. We finally managed to break away from the starting areas of the game to explore the seaside town of Catherby, pay a visit to the Ardoin Zoo. We took our first steps into the wilderness, crossed the blessed River Salve into the shadowy lands of Mauritania, and braved the heat of the Caridian Desert. I set out on this series to recapture a feeling of adventure in Old School RuneScape, and while we've started to tour the world, we've just barely scratched the surface. Every tile we unlock brings new possibilities, and I can't wait to see where the journey takes us next. Thank you all for watching. This past week saw the release of the second episode, and your overwhelming support for SlayerScape just continues to baffle me. At the time of recording, we're just shy of 20,000 subscribers, an absolutely astonishing milestone in this short of time. I'm trying to find the balance of playing the account, editing these videos, and improving SlayerScape to provide more clarity in videos, but also implement some of the most common suggestions from the community for when it eventually is released to all of you. I'll use this series as a place to chat about that progress and keep you updated, so if you want to learn more, well, you know what to do.